All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Welcome to day number 1 nitong ating Origin Cup right here at Sharks. Ito po si Noel Zarate at ilang sandali na lamang masasaksiyan na natin itong ating unang laban sa araw na ito. It will feature Edgy Geronimo versus Dennis Orcollo. This is of course a 10-ball competition, race to 7 dito po sa ating round of 16. Unahin natin itong si Edgy. Edgy, first time mo makakalaban itong si Dennis. At alam naman natin na naghanda ka para dito. Ano masasabi mo bago tayo sumabak sa labanan?
I-enjoy ko lang kasi idol ko din yan eh. Isa sa idol ko. Kaya enjoy ko lang yung laro.
Well, ngayon, Dennis, of course, alam naman natin, ang dami mo ng torneyong nasalihan. Pero ito, napakabilis ng ating format. A single elimination lang tayo dito. What is your message now to Edgy and the rest of the fans bago tayo magsimula?
Siyempre, sa lahat ng mga fans, suportahan nyo kami. Shark Showdown, na magandang laban to. Tournament na mga magaling dito sa Metro Manila. So, si AJ naman, top player talagang, subok na player yan. At siyempre, gagawin ko, kahit ano mangyari, gagawin ko lahat makakaya ko para sa laro nito.
The Origin Cup begins in a few moments. It will be Edgy Geronimo versus Dennis Orcollo. Good afternoon from the Philippines. This is day 1 of the Origin Cup, brought to you by Bugsy Promotions and Sharks. And our first matchup for today in this race to 7 10-ball competition will feature these two players. Ano ba, lalabas pa ba sila? Hindi ko pa na-announce yung dalawa kasi kala ko galing sila doon. Hindi na? Hindi na raw. Tinira na agad eh. Pagkatapos nito. Our first matchup for today will feature Edgy Geronimo versus Dennis Orcollo. All right, here it goes. Start na po nitong ating Origin Cup. This is the first matchup for this round of 16. 16 of the best players in the country. Nagsasabak-sabak po rito para sa ating first ever Origin Cup. Our first matchup, Edgy Geronimo kontra po kay Dennis Orcollo. Magandang hapon po sa inyo, Noel Zarate alongside AJ Ong. And this is going to be a matchup of one decorated international player at isang, of course, isa sa mga masasabi nating best kept secret dito sa Pilipinas, AJ.
Yes. So ito na nga opening shot, one ball, pasok para kay Dennis. At look at the cue ball. Na-hook siya doon. Medyo napadiin ata at ito na naman ata yung biktima na naman ng bagong
mabilis na tapete. Although si Dennis magandang practice niya rito kanina. Pero this will get a little bit of getting used to rin dito. And Dennis has a kick papunta rito sa dos. Yung nga lang nabangin siya. So ball in hand para dito kay Edgy Geronimo. As you can see, Dennis Orcollo, of course. Now, Edgy Geronimo, for those of you who don't know, this guy is 43 years old from Marilao, Bulacan, and has been in the circuit since 2007. So, matagal-tagal na rin, 13-year career already para dito kay Edgy Geronimo. Trying to break up 7-10. Medyo umangat ng konti itong 7.
Babalikan pa niya ito mamaya.
And of course, ito si Edgy nga sa Pilipinas pong umiikot-ikot. Actually, was, medyo napakapal yung tira niya doon sa tres. Was actually one of the runners-up. Was actually the runner-up sa Manny Pacquiao Cup in General Santos. Samantala ito naman si Dennis Orcollo, the holder of 37 international titles.
Wow.
Itong si Dennis Orcollo since invading the pro ranks in 2002, and of course 2006 siya na nagsimula sa kanyang international campaign. And this should be short work already para dito kay Dennis. Yun na lang yung AJ, makikita natin yung magiging position niya from the 6 to the 7.
Yan yung key shot niya for this rack.
Well, he's seeing how he can get to the 7. Kasi pag tama niya rito sa 6, aangat yung pamato eh.
Yeah. So, ako, at this level, di ko alam kung anong yung naisip nila. No?
Maybe
Pero
go up and down. Tignan natin kung nakaharang na eh. Talagang
dyan lang.
drop shot, and then he's gonna have to play something. A safety shot perhaps on the 7. Again, race to 7 po ito. Winner's break ha. So mabilis lang magiging action natin dito. Especially at this level with these pros. And Dennis
Ayun.
hooks, partially at least, itong si Edgy Geronimo.
Pwede na, containing shot.
Edgy, nakikita naman itong bola. So let's see what kind of counter safety shot ang kanyang gagawin dito. Of course, this is the first of 5 matchups for today dito po sa ating Origin Cup. And later on, si Ronnie Alcano will be taking on Benok Regalario.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice counter.
So he's now forcing Dennis into a kick shot off the long rail. Yan lang po ang tira dito ni Dennis Orcollo to try to make contact with the 7. Good contact. And kitang-kita yung 7, but this is a very long and straight. Saan kaya itatago ito?
I think he could take this on.
Well, let's see what Edgy does. Tandaan natin dito, race to 7 lang po ito. Winner's break pa. So, could be one slip up. You could be sitting down for a long time.
Well, pwede dito sa likod ng 8. Oh, he took it on.
Yeah, watch out though. This cue ball is still moving, avoiding the scratch. And ito from Dennis Orcollo. This is a makeable 7 already. And we'll get good position on the 8.
Yeah. At habang inuubos si Dennis to, let's go to our comment sections.
Yeah.
Marlo Obedencio, watching from Calgary, Canada.
Wow. What time is it there?
Yeah, and Gideon Forrest, thanking us for the stream.
Yeah,
Corey Johnson from Illinois.
Okay, so if we have a mostly an American audience,
Yeah.
I think, AJ, you know the drill.
Yeah.
We're going to have to go straight English for the time being, at least, as Dennis Orcollo is able to get rack number 1 here, and he will be breaking in, coming into rack number 2. And again, this is a single elimination 10-ball challenge. A race to 7. This could be very, very quick, so you have to be at the top of your game, and of course, a little fortunate to get some of the rolls as well. As you can see, our they're going to rack for each other. Actually, right now, our referee is still stuck in traffic, it appears. So the third man here will be Ronnie Alcano, who's seeing action next. He is sort of the long distance or pseudo referee at this point. But the two competitors will be racking for each other. As Dennis Orcollo almost scratched that time. And he does have a ball down. And a shot on the 1. Once again, welcome to our international audience watching from halfway around the world. It must be very, very late where you are in the east coast of the United States, a little past 2 a.m. And in the west coast, a little past, if I'm not mistaken, a little past 10 p.m. So Dennis is going to try to play a containing shot here, AJ. It appears that the 1 ball is seen.
Yeah, I was trying to hide the cue ball behind the 6.
So here comes Edgy Geronimo. As we said, a 43-year-old from Bulacan Province in the Philippines, and that's a very, very slick shot on the one. And it looks like he may have opened up the table already with that.
Yeah, he can run out at this point.
Yeah, there appears to be no roadblocks in him trying to tie this this matchup. So Edgy, as we mentioned, is 47 years old, and he turned pro in 2007. So a little bit of a late bloomer, about the age of 30. Of course, he has been seeing action around the country as well, but was able to win the Swanee Championship in Los Angeles not too long ago when he defeated Rodney Morris in the final. That sort of put him on the map. And again, in the Philippines, he has been very, very active around the country. And in fact, a little bit of something that people might not have known. Coming into this competition, he was doing some practice rounds, and the tip of his cue stick cracked. So he had to fix it right before this opening rack. And during the practice runs, it sounded a little funny.
Yeah, that's why there's always a spare shaft for the pros, right?
What he did is he just got a file and just filed off that part that got cracked.
That cracked.
And it doesn't seem to be affecting his performance here in rack number 2. As he will tie this up now at 1 rack apiece, and he will be breaking coming into the 3rd rack.
And look, we have Dobie Howard.
Yeah.
It's 11:15 p.m.
There you go.
in his place in Sunnyvale, California.
Wow.
And we have Don Hanks saying that it's 2 a.m. in the East Coast.
It is.
Yeah.
So you guys just sit back, relax, and enjoy. I know it must be very late where you are right here in the Philippines. We are witnessing day number 1 of the Origin Cup. And again, this is very short, AJ. What's the mindset coming into a tournament where you know when you lose, you go home?
Yeah, that's right. It's similar to the Moscone Cup, right? Because the matchups that they have, they only have 5 points. 5 or 7.
Yeah. Well, this is a race to 7. And break for Edgy Geronimo. Comes up with nothing. So Dennis Orcollo now. Oh, just makes it on that one. And the balls are laid out pretty weird at this point. So let's see how Dennis manufactures this. That 5-7-9 cluster. Probably can break it from the 4 ball.
Yeah. Knowing Dennis, you know, he's an expert at this kind of layout.
And of course, for Dennis, we did mention he is a winner of 37 international titles he amassed from 2006 to present. Actually, in 2020, before the pandemic started. All right, here's an interesting part here. Does he bank the 5?
Well, looks like it, but there could be a defensive option here.
No, he banked the 5. And he comes out well for the 6. Could play the 7-9. It all depends on how he wants to land on this 7. But I was saying earlier, before the pandemic began, Dennis actually won the Texas Open in the U.S. and was also awarded the Derby City Classic Master of the Table. He amassed the most number of points in the Derby City Classic. So Dennis able to map out.
Look at that.
Yeah. A problem earlier with the layout, but he is Dennis Orcollo. And he's also won the Derby City Bank Shot Classic and quite recently also the Sharks Bank Shot competition here, which you will get to see very, very soon. So Dennis, no problem cleaning this up.
Wow.
That was after a dry break from Edgy Geronimo.
And the rack that seems to be there's no run out, right?
Yeah. Well, there was a run out after the
After
dry
the bank.
break. Yeah, after the dry break.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed that it was going to be very difficult, but Dennis Orcollo takes off the mask. I mean, it's okay. It's just the 2 of them down there, so they can afford to play without the masks. So 2-1 right now in this race to 7. in favor of the gentleman from Surigao, Dennis Orcollo. He's turning 42 in a couple of weeks.
Uh-oh. Almost scratched there.
Another ball down on the break. This is a long distance shot. Looks like we could have a push out here coming from Dennis. So far, no break and run out between these two gentlemen.
We are flooding with comments right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. You can go ahead and read it.
Yeah. So from Brian Westmoreland, he says that it's a great out. Great
Yeah.
run out from Dennis Orcollo.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we also have our Filipino audience,
Yeah.
Christian Zara
Oh, here he is. Yeah.
and Miguel Ferrer. Shout out sa inyo.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. So here's the push out now for Dennis. Not quite sure what he intends here because he's put that very near the 2 ball. So Edgy's going to study this. Of course, when you do a push out, you have a plan in case it's given back to you. There's Edgy Geronimo. Very rarely do we see him get some TV time. I think he's going to play the kick shot going to the 1. Almost made
went
it.
in.
Yeah. But with that miss, the table has now opened up for Dennis Orcollo. This is the man they call the RoboCop. This is a very elementary layout with the pocketing skills of Dennis Orcollo.
Compared to the last track.
Oh, yeah.
This one is an
Yeah,
elementary.
he doesn't have to do anything special here.
Wow, look at that draw.
Yeah, and again, we are playing with a table that was just fitted with a new cloth, just a few days ago. And it came from being a very slow table to being a very fast table right now. So I guess the player who adjusts the best to the conditions of the table will take this. And remember that Dennis did play a bank shot tournament on this very table. Of course, the bank shot is different from these direct hits that he's doing. But playing the bank shot in the bank shot tournament, he's probably accustomed himself to the speed of the table faster than anybody else here.
Look at Dennis.
Yeah,
Staying down while the cue ball is still moving.
that's right. And he has taken, a 3-1 lead already.
Yeah, 3-1. Just like that. It's we're in our 5th rack, right?
And that's also the nice thing about the pros. It's they shoot very fast, especially for this one. And we're going to check out our sponsors in just a bit. But thank you once again for joining us here. This is day number 1 of the Origin Cup from the Philippines. 16 of the best pros in the country in a single elimination. And what happened there is the cue ball got eliminated on the break
Yeah.
by Dennis Orcollo, and he's still figuring out what happened there. So this brings Edgy Geronimo to the table with a layout that might not need much work. Yeah, so Edgy is looking. The 1 does not pass either. Maybe he can squeeze it past the 4. Well, he elects to play the 1-3 combination then. This will be the only issue on the table. He gets the 1-3 combination. Now he's got an open lane, easy flight path now for Edgy Geronimo, whose real name is actually shared with the president of the Philippines, Rodrigo Geronimo.
So Rodrigo yung name niya.
Yeah, that's his first name. So you notice it's right there, Rodrigo Geronimo.
Wow.
It's called Edgy because when he was a kid, they used to call him Reggie. And then he just lost the R somewhere along the way. Stories of these Filipino pool players. Dennis, of course, started out with the name Dennis Surigao Orcollo, which is, of course, the province he's from in the Philippines. But eventually, our big boss, Perry Mariano, said, drop the Surigao, just call you RoboCop. And it's stuck.
Really?
Yeah, ever
Stuck
since.
there.
So that was Perry Mariano's contribution to the legacy of Dennis Orcollo. Right
Well,
now,
he also plays like RoboCop, right?
Yeah,
like
that's
like a
right.
robot.
Yeah, he does. And right now, Edgy Geronimo trying to make short work of this table here in rack number 5. This is coming off a scratch on the break of Dennis Orcollo. And again, these table conditions are something that they need to get used to. From very slow to very fast. Well, of course, Edgy hasn't played on this table a lot, so it's easier for him to adjust. Edgy Geronimo, when he's not playing billiards, he is engaged in several businesses. Of course, one of them is a billiards place as well. And he also owns a travel agency.
Here we go.
Yeah. And
2-3
yeah.
in favor of Dennis Orcollo.
Yeah, but Edgy Geronimo is just keeping in step here with our champion, or with our 37-time international champion.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous, right? That's in the span of 14 years.
And of course, we would like to thank our sponsors.
Yeah.
Bugsy Promotions, Origin Carbon Fiber Shafts, Billy's Resort in Oslo, Cebu, Aqua V, V-Lugaw, ang lugaw ng Cubao, Mud Cakes by V, kay Karex Kayanong ng Target On Air sa DZME 1530 kHz, Bounce Apparel, Music Avenue, Vehement, all about the process, Lulu's Apple Pie since 2000, and Dehadista and Liamadista Sports Bar in Quezon City.
So Edgy Geronimo, another open layout in sight here. The 4 passes the 5 into the side pocket. So it's just a matter of getting good shape on that 4 later on. Edgy trying to tie this one up. Of course, later on in our second matchup, it will feature 2 gentlemen who are already who have been here quite a while already. Ronnie Alcano, of course, former world champion, taking on the kid, Benok Regalario.
Oo. Ang batang tirador.
Yes.
Pero hindi ko alam kung batang tirador na kay kay kalimutan ko na yung channel sa YouTube.
There's a channel.
Yeah.
So again, we're trying to mix up the language of broadcast here. AJ's gonna speak a little bit in
Yeah, because we have a Filipino audience here. At sabi nga ni Dan Philip Payuran, bakit walang chicken wings ngayon?
So that's what you call them, huh?
Chicken wings.
Yeah, we're all business here today.
Yeah.
So again, Edgy Geronimo looking at having the first break and run out of the matchup. 2 balls away from achieving that, and 2 balls away from tying us up at 3 racks apiece. It's coming dangerously close to the side pocket, but it still clears. So this will tie us up at 3 racks apiece.
Just like that. 3 all.
We now move to rack number 7. Again, Dennis Orcollo was the one setting. We will have our referee a little later on, but since these gentlemen know each other very well, and they're also being monitored by Ronnie Alcano there at the side, no referee needed at this point. And we are following the international 10-ball rules. They're calling every shot, except the obvious ones, of course. 10 ball also went down, and this could be another dry break. Let's see where the 6 lands. It is a dry break. And the layout that Dennis can actually dissect.
Too thin.
Yeah, too thin on the 1. Leaves a similar shot now, and Dennis is just smiling at the way he missed that. Yeah, there will be a 2-6 combination. 10 ball is already near the corner pocket, so it's just a matter of getting to it after the run out. Pulled back a little bit.
Almost lost the 2 ball
Yeah,
there.
almost lost it. He now has to change his flight path.
I think he's trying to call the 10 ball. Not
Yeah,
sure.
he is trying to call the 10 ball right now. Went for it, and he
Oof,
gets it.
Look at that.
So an
What a
abbreviated
shot.
rack. Yeah. With Edgy Geronimo now edging ahead, pardon the pun, 4-3
Edging ahead.
against Dennis Orcollo on an abbreviated rack number 7. And we have our sponsors to thank, Mr. Ong.
Yes, Bugsy Promotions, Origin Carbon Fiber Shafts, Billy's Resort in Oxlob, Cebu, Aqua V, Vilugao, Mud Cakes by V, Karex Kayanong ng Target on Air sa DZME 1530 kHz, Bounce Apparel, Music Avenue, Vehement, All About the Process, Lulu's Apple Pie since 2000, syempre Dehadista and Liamadista Sports Bar in Quezon City.
Now the ball down on the break. There are some issues on this table, starting with the 1 ball, which is seen but unpocketable. Well, probably
Because
it
of
is
the 10
pocketable, yeah.
ball.
The 10-3 cluster. You also have that 4-6 up table. So how to attack this if you're Edgy Geronimo? He's already halfway to the goal here of trying to beat Dennis Orcollo and stay alive to fight in day 2, which happens tomorrow. That will be the quarterfinal stage. And he's going to play a push out. Pushes it out to where Dennis has still a clean look at this one, but a little farther than where it was. And Dennis is going to take this on.
Yeah, there. Perfect.
Yeah, rolls it to that defensive area behind the 3 and the 10. Edgy's going to kick off the short rail. Does make contact. And puts it in a 1-6 combination area. Unable to hide the cue ball behind the 8. That was actually the bigger of the two problems, because the 310 looks like it can be dealt with after the shot on the 2. So Dennis wants to be a little down table on the ankle for the 2, so he can break up the 310 with the cue ball. Yeah, he just barely clears the 7. So here's the shot now from the 2 to the breakup of that cluster. If Dennis gets this, racks his. Oh, doesn't even try to break it up. So it appears that the 3 passes the 10.
3 passes the 10. The question is,
How to get to the 4.
yeah, that's right.
This is Dennis Orcollo. We're not even going to second guess what his plan is.
Yeah.
There, he's going to play a long shot.
Yeah, just try to thin this 4 ball.
Good stroke. And with that, he has just cleared the traffic for rack number 8. Again, this is very quick, a race to 7. Of course, the quarterfinals will be starting tomorrow, and that'll be a race to 9. Then the semis and the finals will all be a race to 11. Dennis ties it up.
We got 4 all. And we're down to race to 3.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're just like that, huh?
Yeah. And of course, we would like to thank Bugsy Promotions, Origin Carbon Fiber Shafts, Billy's Resort in Oslab, Cebu, Aqua V, Vilugao, ang lugaw ng Cubao, Mud Cakes by V, Karex Kayanong ng Target on Air sa DZME 1530 kHz, Bounce Apparel, Music Avenue, Vehement, All About the Process, Lulu's Apple Pie since 2000, Daddy's the Sports Bar, and Liamadista in Quezon City.
So the man from Surigao is trying to break to reclaim the lead. The first matchup here in the single elimination tournament. And Dennis has a dry break, and it looks like there could be a push out here for Edgy Geronimo, or Rodrigo Edgy Geronimo. Layout presents no apparent problem. It's just really getting to the one now. So he may elect to jump. Now he's going to bring out his jump cue to make contact, and if he does have a spot to put the cue ball behind that 2-3-9 cluster, AJ.
Yeah. So Eddie Geronimo is getting his jump cue. Going airborne this time.
Yeah, of course, this is the Origin Cup brought to us by Origin
Carbon fiber shafts.
Yeah. I'd like to thank our friend, Mr. Rico Santiago,
Mr. Rico Santiago.
for helping us make this tournament a reality, of course, with thanks to Bugsy Promotions and Sharks. So there was a successful contact there, and you can see from this angle that Dennis might elect to do the same thing now.
Yeah. Gets his jump cue.
He'll be jumping over the 2-9. He may want to call the 10 ball just in case. Appears to be trying to use a shorter jump cue.
He's using a Mucci jump cue.
Yeah. With this, though, yeah, it looks like Edgy may have an opportunity for a run out because the one ball sells out. And just go 2 rails to get to the 2. Next to go 1 rail to get to the 2. Good recognition of the speed as well. I mean, we noticed last night during our Sharks 9-ball showdown, shots like that usually tend to overshoot.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah,
just
straight in. Yeah.
stop the ball right there. Or
Yeah, he can draw it back as well and get the angle from the 3 to the 4. Just like
little
that.
draw.
And does have a big landing spot there for the 4 ball into the side. And just stop it right there for the 5. Yeah, pretty much he's figured out the layout already. So Edgy Geronimo trying to reclaim the lead. Probably draw this back a couple of inches. Actually place it off 1 rail, which is even better, but yeah, he is straight in on this 5. Again, interesting. Our first matchup for the day. Really, both players just capitalizing on the other's mistake.
Yeah. Well matched.
We have a few comments as well from our friends watching. This is day 1 of the Origin Cup, presented to us by Origin Carbon Fiber Shafts. First matchup between Edgy Geronimo of Marilao, Bulacan, and Dennis Orcollo from Surigao. Of course, later on, we'll have the matchup between the kid, Benok Regalario. Ooh. Wow,
Missing
first
that
unforced error, yeah.
Uh-oh.
First unforced error.
But I think he got lucky there. I don't know.
Looks like Dennis can just
Yeah, I
go
can
rail
see
first.
I can see the.
Oh, yeah, he can see all of it. Gets the 10 out of the way. Actually uses it to get better position on the 9. Dennis having a conversation with Ronnie Alcano as he takes care of business there to now take the lead once again, 5-4 at the end of rack number 9.
Ayan.
And of course, later on, after this matchup, one player will get eliminated. Then we will have that duel between the veteran, Ronnie Alcano, and the up-and-coming kid, Bernie Regalario. And of course, after that, it will be the legendary Francisco Django Bustamante taking on another youngster in Anton Raga. And then the 4 p.m. match, perhaps the one that a lot of people are looking forward to, it will be Carlo Biado against Jun Del Mazon. And our last matchup for today will feature the man they call Superman against the man they call Panday as the 3-ball goes down on the break.
So shout out to Alex Nunez. Shout out from A2 Billiards in Malabon.
Mm-hmm.
Dampalit, Malabon. Yan.
So a long distance look now for Dennis on this 2. Or make that the 1 ball. Yeah, he can play a push out coming off his break. If he pushes it out on the side where the 1 is, that's a 1-5 combination. Can be makeable. Dennis is studying it if it is a makeable combination. Because the 5 looks slightly higher than the rail where the 1 is. So you know a push out is coming. The question is, where is Dennis going to push this out to?
Kaya ito, wala akong idea.
Yeah. And he's going to push out to the side where the combination is available.
Mm-hmm.
Now Edgy has a coin flip if he's going to take this on or play a safety shot.
He could thin out the 1 and hide the cue ball behind the 2.
Yeah, that's probably one option he's thinking of. But if the 1-5 is on, he can take that and open up the table. 1-5 was not on, but plays a plan B as well. And let's see where Dennis passes on this kick shot. He could go 2 rails off the side rail up top. Yeah.
There are funny comments here.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Like what? What's a funny comment?
We got here from Dan Parl.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dennis pregnant? Oh my God.
Wait till you see me.
And
You
me
think
too.
I'm 2 years pregnant?
And me too.
Yeah, well, Dennis doesn't let his pregnancy affect him if he is. He plays through it. Oh, this is not a good counter coming from Edgy Geronimo. And with this
He
opens up the table now
yeah.
for Dennis. Dennis could be on the hill at the end of this run out,
That's
impending
right.
run out.
That's right.
So Dennis navigating through traffic to get to this 5-ball.
Perfect.
Yeah, this is almost an automatic already for Dennis. Draw this back a bit for the 7 in the same pocket. Yeah, one mistake from Edgy Geronimo led to what we're seeing right now. Dennis, with this 10,
Yeah.
will be on the hill.
Or the hill.
So Dennis Orcollo is 1 win away from advancing to the quarterfinals of the first ever Origin Cup. Looks like my partner AJ has some business to attend to right now. So he'll be back in a bit. Go ahead, AJ. All right. Well, you'll attend to your business after this next rack, or no, he'll be fine. Yeah, AJ's gonna be back. Dennis Orcollo now breaking for the match in the first ever Origin Cup. This is to advance to the quarterfinals, the round of 8. Three ball goes down. Does he have a shot on the 1? Barely sees the 1. Looks like it could be makeable from behind this 5. If he gets this, table's open. And he can see part of the 1, but he may have to go rail first. And if he does and he misses, Edgy gets the table. Went rail first and got it. How is he going to land on the 2? Beautiful. So the only riddle of the table was solved with 1 stroke from Dennis Orcollo, and everything's in the open right now. So if Dennis clears this up, he will be our first quarterfinalist in the first ever Origin Cup, brought to us by Origin Carbon Fiber Shafts. And he's wasting no time navigating around the table. You have to go around here to get to the 8. No problem with that. Drop this into the side to get it to the 9. Play the 10 in the opposite corner. Oh, he's playing the 10 in the same corner. So Dennis Orcollo advances to the quarterfinals of the first ever Origin Cup by taking this match 7 racks to 4 against Rodrigo Geronimo. And we will continue with our broadcast of the first ever Origin Cup in just a few moments. But first, we'd like to thank our friends from Bugsy Promotions, Origin Carbon Fiber Shafts, Billy's Resort in Oslo, Cebu, Aqua V, V Lugaw, ang lugaw ng Cubao, Mudcakes by V, Carex Kayanong ng Target On Air sa DZME 1530 kHz, Bounce Apparel, Music Avenue, Vehement, All About the Process, Lulu's Apple Pie since 2000, the Hadista and Llamadista Sports Bars in Quezon City. Up next, we'll have our matchup between the veteran Ronnie Alcano, former world champion, going up against the youngster Benok Regalario. This is the first ever Origin Cup. We'll be right back.